What's up, everybody? It's yours truly, Chicken Nugget King 313. Make sure you like, share, subscribe to the channel. I'm at 375 subscribers. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and even leave your thoughts down below in the comment section as we go. Today we're doing a video on the late great Hank Gathers. Now, Hank Gathers is a guy that loved basketball, and it was his dream to succeed in basketball, and not only to succeed in basketball, but to know what life is after basketball and life within basketball when he makes the pros. His biggest aspiration was to be a first rounder. And sadly, his untimely demise happened and he passed away at 23. But he was a very vocal leader and a very, very talented player in college. In college, playing with LMU and playing in USC, because in USC he spent time there in 1985 riding the pine alongside Bo Kimble. Big shout out to Bo Kimble, who I watched on Heaven is a Playground. And Hank Gather's story just not only inspires me, but it inspires everyone, because we all had hoop dreams, the same exact hoop dreams that he had and wanted to accomplish and wanted to see, because everything that he done on the floor, whether if it was high flying for an alley oop, whether if he was playing great defense to get a block shot or a steal, whether if he was scoring at will to drop 23, maybe 25 points a game, and he was just a dominant stud out there. Paul Westhead, his former head coach, could tell you the same thing. So without further ado, we're going to get to the quote of Paul Westhead, a former head coach of his, and not only a former head coach of his, but a guy that was coaching very, very well, successfully in the professional basketball game, making it into the NBA. His teammate as well played in the NBA, played with the Clippers and the New York Knicks. And he did some great things out in, Europe. But for right now, we're going to get to the Paul Westhead quote about the late, great Hank Gathers that passed away March 4th, 1990. There was nothing ordinary about Hank Gathers. He was a walking thunderbolt. And that was a quote from former NBA head coach Paul Westhead. And he was definitely a walking thunderbolt. The movie showcased it, and even in the highlights that you see on YouTube showcased it when you think about the name Hank Gathers. Now, if you've seen him up close and personal in play, I'm sure you would say the same, that he was a thunderbolt. And he wasn't just lightning, all right? Lightning was never, the case for Hank Gathers, all right? So when you're, 6'7" and you're bulky and you're strong and you're just a fearless player, there's nothing that could stop you. Like literally, like legit nothing that could stop you out there. To me, Hank Gathers is one of those what ifs if they made the league, like with Len Bias, with, Benjamin Wilson, with so many other great names, including Reggie Lewis. Yeah, some of you guys aren't like familiar with Reggie Lewis, but I think you guys should go out there and look at him too, because, with Len Bias and Reggie Lewis on the same team with the Boston Celtics, they could have really dominated. They could have took over the East for years, way before Jason Tatum, way before Jaylen Brown. And that's, a scary, scary thought. But the same kind of scary thought with Hank Gathers. Hank Gathers could have been a top 5 pick. He could have been top 3. I mean, the scenario was out there. I mean, imagine him going to the Orlando Magic, or going to the Philadelphia 76ers, his own hometown team, or going to the LA Lakers, or going to any other team in the NBA. I think he would have made a great impact in the 90s in the NBA. And he had been talked about in the headlines. He had been talked about on SportsCenter. And he had a great opportunity to, talk with, guys who are in the world of our spectrum of sports media. And they got to know the guy, like Brian Gumbel. Definitely had a great conversation with him as well. So, don't ever forget the name and the spirit of Hank Gathers, because if you forget the name and the spirit of Hank Gathers, then you're lost in the sauce. And I'm letting you know right now. But we're gonna get straight into the stats, man. The stats that are like literally like fat stats. Straight up real good stats that are high and above, because you couldn't even see that from LeBron at all, because LeBron never went to college. LeBron went straight to the pros out of high school, coming out of Akron. But these stats are very fat. When I say these stats are fat, they're very emphatic and very, very, like, prolific. I never would have thought. Like, seriously would have never thought. And not only that, Hank Gathers played 117 games. Ain't that amazing, people? That's very amazing. Next to Bo Kimball, very amazing. But with that being said, no long talk. Let's get straight to the stats. I don't know, the Loyola Marymount legend averaged 28 points per game, 10 rebounds per game, 2,490 total points, and he had a total rebounds of 1,075. All-time leading scorer and rebounder, Hank Gathers, a legend in the game. Straight legendary work. If you have witnessed Hank Gathers up close and personal playing basketball, make sure you like, share, subscribe to the channel, and even leave your thoughts down below of your greatest memory of seeing the late, great Hank Gathers ball. And it's so many what-ifs to the name, Hank Gathers. Could have been a journalist, could have been a head coach, could have been an assistant coach, could have been, a spectator, calling play-by-play with Mark Jones. And by the way, Mark Jones did start out 35 years ago, in 1990, being a play-by-play announcer for ESPN and much more. So salute to Mark Jones on a tremendous career for him. That's one of the greatest spectators to ever call games. Basketball games, football games, whatever, you name it. He could definitely do it all. And there's another name that has witnessed Hank Gathers from afar and played against him as an opponent. University of Portland's alumni own Eric Spoelstra, who is now the Miami Heat head coach and won multiple championships and is a first ballot Hall of Famer. But with that being said, the name Hank Gathers will echo on forever. 20 years, 30 years from now, no one will never forget the number 44, and they will never forget the name Hank Gathers and what he could do for the game of basketball and the lives that he's impacted and, touched on the surface. So make sure you like, share, subscribe to the channel. I'm Chicken Nugget King 313, and bring my notifications up because I definitely need that. Up the ante a little bit more with 375 subscribers. And I'm out. Hit my theme music. Take care. Much love and peace, love, and soul to many out there in Philly, because I know Philly's going to like this about their hometown kid. And, yeah. May peace be with you. Chicken Nugget King. Hit my theme music.
Yeah. D-Town. CNK. What up, though? Pull up to the lot in a Stafford cap. Wing sauce stains on the throwback strap. Spartan in my heart, tiger on my sleeve. Pistons in my pulse when I breathe, Talking that trash on a Monday morning. Snow on the porch, but the takes run warm. Mic in my hand, I'm a Midwest king. Crown made of crumbs from the box I bring. What? I'm the Chicken Nugget King of Detroit sports talk. Look it in the sauce when I call that shot. From the couch to the call, everybody gon' sing. Bow when you hear that ring. Nugget King, Chicken Nugget King of Detroit sports talk. Every hot take come with a crispy drop. From the rink to the field, I'ma rain all spring. Bow when you hear that ring. Nugget King. Lions on the screen, I'm a couch side coach. Calling out plays with a full mouth boast. Grease on my fingers, stats in my brain. Give me one more tray, we can run that game. Red Wings red, got the jersey faded. Old school clips when the fights got rated. I'll bet you a box on a rivalry win. You can taste that dub when the squad skates in. Oh, yeah. I'm the Chicken Nugget King of Detroit sports talk. Look it in the sauce when I call that shot. From the couch to the call, everybody gon' sing loud when you hear that ring. Nugget King, I'm the Chicken Nugget King of Detroit sports talk. Every hot take 'em with a crispy drop. From the rink to the field, I'ma rain all spring. Bow when you hear that ring. Nugget King. Who need rings when you got these bites? Gold in the box under playoff lights. Turn up the phones, let the whole town cheer. If you hungry for the truth, you can call in here. I'm the Chicken Nugget King of Detroit sports talk. Dunk it in the sauce when I call that shot. From the couch to the call, everybody gon' Nugget King of Detroit sports talk. Every hot take 'em with a crispy drop. From the rink to the field, I'ma rain all spring. Bow when you hear that ring. Nugget King.